In 1994, Jeff Bezos walked away from a six-figure Wall Street job, not to start a guaranteed business, not to follow a proven path, but to sell books on the internet when almost nobody even used it. Everyone around him thought he was making the biggest mistake of his life. No safety net, no certainty, no backup plan. What they didn't know was that this stupid decision would eventually create Amazon and make Jeff Bezos one of the richest men in human history. Stay with me till the end, because the mindset that carried Bezos through these early struggles is the same mindset that separates people who dream from people who win. Jeffrey Preston Bezos was born in 1964 in Albuquerque, New Mexico. He wasn't born rich, he wasn't born powerful, but he was dangerously curious. As a child, Bezos spent hours in his garage taking things apart. Radios, machines, anything he could touch. Not to break them, but to understand them. He asked questions most kids never asked. Why does this work? How could it be better? What happens if I change this? This obsession with understanding systems, not just using them, would later become one of his greatest weapons in business. While others played games, Bezos was quietly training his mind. Bezos went on to graduate from Princeton University, earning degrees in computer science and electrical engineering, elite credentials by any standard. He climbed the corporate ladder fast. By his early 30s, he was a senior vice president at D.E. Shaw, a prestigious Wall Street firm. Six-figure salary, career security, respect. But here's the problem. Comfort scared him. While everyone else celebrated stability, Bezos noticed something most people ignored. The internet was growing at 2,300% per year, and he asked himself one question that changed everything. If I don't try this now, will I regret it for the rest of my life? That question haunted him. In 1994, Bezos quit his job. No applause, no encouragement, just confusion. He packed his car, drove to Seattle, and started Amazon, not in an office, but in a garage. Books were the first product, not because they were exciting, but because they were strategic. Millions of titles, easy to ship, and impossible for physical stores to compete with. Early Amazon wasn't glamorous. Bezos personally packed boxes, answered customer emails, negotiated with suppliers, worked 12 to 14 hours a day. At one point, he couldn't even afford desks. Employees used doors on sawhorses. This wasn't startup culture. This was survival mode. Amazon was bleeding money. Critics called it a bubble, a flawed idea, a future failure. Investors doubted him. Competitors mocked him. But Bezos operated by a rule most people can't handle: long-term pain for long-term dominance. He said, "We're willing to be misunderstood for long periods of time." Instead of chasing fast profits, he obsessed over customer experience data and metric speed and efficiency. Every decision answered one question: does this make life better for the customer? That obsession created trust, and trust created growth. Before Amazon was powerful, it was fragile. Cash flow was tight. Failure was always one mistake away. Bezos lived modestly, reinvested everything, and ignored the noise. Pause. This is the part most people skip because it's uncomfortable. There was no motivation, no guarantees, no viral success, just discipline, just patience, just belief. And this is the real lesson. Every massive success looks lonely and foolish at the beginning. In 1997, Amazon went public. Even then, critics said, Amazon will never be profitable. Bezos is reckless. This won't last. But Bezos wasn't building a bookstore. He was building infrastructure. Books turned into music. Music turned into electronics. Electronics turned into everything. The garage company became a global platform. And the man once called reckless became unstoppable. Jeff Bezos didn't win because of luck. He won because of vision, seeing opportunity early courage, acting before proof patience, playing the long game obsession with customers, not applause resilience, enduring doubt without quitting. These traits aren't rare because they're complex. They're rare because they're hard. Jeff Bezos didn't wait for perfect conditions. He started before he was ready, worked when no one was watching, and stayed consistent when quitting was easier. So if you're sitting on an idea, a vision, a risk you're afraid to take, remember this: Amazon didn't start as a giant. It started as a decision, and that decision changed everything. If stories like this help sharpen your mindset around money, business, and success, this channel is built for you. Subscribe, because the next idea you hear might be the one that changes your future.